I'm just inspecting something. I'm doing a dance. How are you? I'm in character. I'm a magician. No, I was doing moment shots for you. I just did an audition. And staying in character. I've been trying to stay in character this whole time. It's hot here. It's hot in this basement. How are you? I'm sweaty. It's going to be a short 15-minute show, I think. I think I'm just going to do 15-minute shows now. But I'm going to do 15 one-minute shows. Oh, I'm sweating. This isn't fun. Hey, this is super fun. What am I talking about? Every day. Every day we come here and we hang out and we play. And it's always nice to see you. I was just thinking about Hollywood in general. And I've been doing the Hollywood thing for a while. And I tend to like it because it's make-believe. How was your weekend, by the way? What did you do this weekend? I think I got sick. I think I got sick. I'm going to have to take the shirt off because look at me. I'm Misty. Play Misty for me. Hello, folks. This is the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. That part will be cut out of the podcast. Why not? I have a red eye. I don't know if you could see it, that I have a pink eye. But the allergies here in Long Island, on Long Island, are a real deal. They're a real thing. The allergy struggle is real. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, I was waiting for the show to start. I didn't even know it started yet. Let's check out what's going on in the news. I don't like that this is the last week in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I find it very difficult to accept that it's going to be over. Hello, Raccoon Raiders. I would like it to go on forever. Actually, I wouldn't. I really do want Johnny to win this because he will. There have been a lot of times where, and Paul McCartney said it best, good men have been taken down. I don't know if Johnny's a good man. He seems like a guy who struggles with a lot of issues, you know. And he seems like kind of a lucky guy in life. I think he accepts that. And I think I was watching something about this, and they were talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard versus Amber Heard. It's like, who are we to believe? The every single person who has, there's like 16 people who back up Johnny's story. And there's like 3 people who sort of kind of agree with some things that Amber Heard has said, but they don't agree with her whole story. It seems like a phony story. She's lying, in other words. In other words, Amber Heard, in my opinion, from watching this testimony, has been lying. Because how can you be right? How can she contest every single thing? It's almost, she's just combative with the attorneys. They're questioning her. Now, this has to do with Hollywood and casting, because Johnny Depp is no longer being cast in anything, and Amber Hood, she's being cast in Aquaman movies. So I think Johnny Depp has got a better, more solid case of defamation. Now they're suing each other for defamation. She's claiming that Johnny Depp is defaming her. But I think, in my opinion, she's defaming herself by being discredited over and over again. Johnny has all these friends that have been coming out in his sport for him saying, Johnny's a good man, Johnny's a good man, over and over again. And then they got one person who claimed to be Amber Heard's friend, or Amber Heard claimed that she was her friend, and the one person said, I would not say that we're not friends. That's the best she could do with getting a person to back her up. Someone was like, I wouldn't say that we're not friends. We don't talk. You make your own bed in life. That's what I think. I think people don't remember what you say to them. They remember how you made them feel. Every time you meet a celebrity, if you've ever met someone famous or someone you admire, what's the first thing that you tell people about them? Whether or not they were nice or a jerk. That's it. That's the only thing you ever tell anybody. You say, oh, I met them. They were nice. Oh, I met them. They were a jerk. That's all that you ever remember. So if you're a celebrity, if you're someone in the public eye, if you are somebody who is known and people admire you, just be nice. How hard is that? I don't understand how mean people get as far as they do. Also, Amber Heard, look, she's been acting on the stand, and it turns out Johnny Depp's a way better actor. But I don't think he's acting when he says that he's never abused anybody and that he's the only person he's ever abused in his life is himself, because he seems like a guy who's got problems. He's got demons that he wrestles with. And everything I heard on tape about Johnny Depp talking, he's saying, you know, like, you hear him on the tapes, she's the one antagonizing him. Amber's antagonizing Johnny constantly on these tapes anyway. And he just seems like a hurt, broken man. I know you may be sick of this story. I know you might be sick of hearing it, but for me, I'm just like, you know, it'll be interesting to see a defamation trial, Johnny win this defamation trial, because you know he's going to make 20 more Pirates of the Caribbean movies after this. If he wins the defamation trial, they're going to greenlight Pirates of the Caribbean 47. It's going to happen. Because I'm here for it. I still haven't caught up on my Pirates movies. There's number 5. I haven't seen number 5. But you know they're going to make 10 of them movies if he you know, they're waiting. Disney's just waiting. Because they waited. When the op-ed came out that Amber Heard wrote that revealed that Johnny Depp, or at least claimed that Johnny Depp was an abuser, 4 days later, this doesn't seem like a coincidence. 4 days later, they dropped Johnny Depp. Disney dropped Johnny Depp, and also Warner Brothers dropped Johnny Depp from the Grindelwald stuff. Johnny Depp was playing a character in the Fantastic Beasts movies. They got rid of him. Dropped him. Why do you think that is? Because Johnny Depp sucks at acting? Has anyone ever said that? Has anyone ever made that claim? It's because he's what? You know, there's the movies that Johnny Depp is in generally are the ones he stars in. A lot of times, the movie is bigger than he is. That is to say, it's the concept that you go, hey, Willy Wonka? Cool, I'll go see Willy Wonka. Johnny Depp's playing Willy Wonka? Oh, cool. That's cool. And then you go to see the movie and it's not good. That one anyway. But when Johnny Depp was going to play that pirate, the first time I saw it, I said, this guy is just, I can't keep my eyes off of his constantly demanding your attention and being funny and being a character. I was amused. Amuse me, Johnny Depp. Dance for us. So, I find it very disappointing that somebody would try to take a guy like that down. Because in my opinion, from what I've heard and what I've seen, and this is just my own speculation, because I've lived through certain situations in my life where I'm like, oh, I'm fortunate enough to not have had those situations happen to me until recently, in recent years. Because it turns out the people I was dating or involved with were decent people, kind, good people. And then one came along and I was like, oh, there's a bad egg. I'm no perfect person myself, but I just had no experience with a narcissist. I had no experience being involved with one. I just thought, oh, you know, this is, you know, someone who somehow I Well, I guess that's the trick. Like a lot of narcissists have this ability to draw people in, draw them in, especially people who actually give a crap and care about others. They like that because they get all the attention from them, and they drain that person. I got drained. My soul felt drained. I felt completely drained at the end of that relationship. That's why I ended it. I was like, I got to get out of this. I can't do it. Devalued. That's another thing. They devalue you. They're like, they just make you feel like you're not worthy of their time. Anyone who does that to you is not worthy of your time. You understand? If you feel me? Anybody makes you feel like you're not worthy, they're not worthy of your time. But they try to keep you in that trap, in that loop. Don't let them do it. Get out of there. So what I see Amber Heard doing her thing, trying to be right all of the time. Nobody's right 100% of the time. There's so many times Johnny Depp acquiesced. There were things that were like, didn't you do this? He's like, yeah, I did that. He admitted to things. He acquiesced to certain foibles and frailties of his own. He conceded points in his testimony. She has not conceded a thing, even if it contradicts her original testimony. They're like, didn't you say this on the tape? And they're like, no. She's like, I didn't say that. And then they play it for her. Like, you're saying it there. And she's like, I didn't mean that. Constantly. Not once has she just been like wrong about anything. Those are the kinds of people I can't stand. If someone's never wrong about anything, even when they're demonstrably wrong, you could show them that 2 + 2 = 4. And they'll be like, nah, it's 5,000. You say, no, it's 4. It's going to be crazy making for you because they're going to gaslight you into thinking it's 5,000. And if you start to think it's Andre 5000s, you're going to be like, wait, I've been gaslit. So anybody that makes you feel like you're not worthy of their time, they're not worthy of your time. This is the lesson for today. And then I got to go. I'm going to put my head down and put some allergy meds in my eyeball because my eyeball is red. Can you see? It's red AF. I had, I'm exhausted after that audition because, you know, Hollywood and casting gets you all hyped up. You get all excited. You get in there, you do the thing, and then they're like, ha, okay, bye, forever. And then you maybe never see them again. Or maybe you work with them, and then you're making a fun commercial. But if I do get booked for this commercial, I need to be back in Los Angeles like ASAP. Which I will be. I'll just hop on a plane and be back in Los Angeles tomorrow. Oh. When I entered the chat, they were really kind and generous enough to allow me to audition remotely. I was auditioning on Zoom because I'm here in Long Island, on Long Island. I don't know why I say in Long Island. I've been in Los Angeles too long. But I've been here and I'm just like, hey, Cal to the lean. I'm tapping. I was just saying I had an audition for a commercial just now. That's why I'm dressed all like this. They wanted it like ocean, you know. So I was like this. Let me tell you something, kid. But my eye is red. I got pink eye. Conjunctivitis. I got the itis of the eye. I think it's because of the pollen count yesterday. The pollen count was, look at your hands and the feet and your feet, and look at the street. It's covered in pollen. That was the pollen count yesterday. The pollen count was hands full of, is it hands full or handfuls of pollen everywhere? Just pollen. And I was in Southampton, so it could have been Tracy Pollen. You need to send SL an audition tape. How cool would it be if you had 2 Aristotles in the cast? Yeah, I gotta kick out the other Aristotle. Maybe I'll just show up one day and be like, yeah, that's me. It's Aristotle. See? Look at my birth certificate. That's me. I'm the one. I'm the one. Do you think that they would arbitrarily rule me out just because we have the same name? I mean, sometimes they have two Kyles or whatever. I don't know if they have two Kyles, but I feel like there's so many Kyles. How many Kyles can we have? But it would be weird if there were two Aristotles. That would be exceedingly rare. What if they were just like, oh, well, you put him in the cast because you already got a name. See, you can't win. You can't win. They'll say, well, I didn't get in the cast because there's already a guy named that, or I did get in the cast because there was already a guy named that. I don't like it. I'm Aristotle. Full throttle. But I was also just talking about the Amber Heard testimony, which is just incredible. I don't believe it. They need the fro. They would just cover my fro every week, though. Maybe. They'd cover it up. I'd be in skull caps. I'd be like, hi, I'm Joe Biden. I'm Joe Byron. I gotta get a... Who would be a politician that I can make fun of, that I can act like? Maybe I'll start doing that now, so I can get my... Because I feel like you got to be a politician, an original character, and a celebrity impression. That's like... And then do your own act. I hear things about how the audition goes. The celebrity impressions... But I have to look like the celebrity, generally speaking. But I could do the voice of Seth Rogen. But, like, I don't know how I would pull off being Seth Rogen. Because I'd be like, he's brown. He needs to play all of the brown, light-skinned brown people. He needs to play every brown person. I would love it. I would love to be on Saturday Night Live. That was like a childhood dream of mine, to be a writer on it, actually. I was like... I want to write for Saturday Night Live as a kid. That was like my main 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I was like, they just say the same thing over and over again for 5 minutes. I could do that. I could write those sketches. You like it to juice? Yeah, I could do that. Go to Mount Olympus and get the juice. It'll get you some more juice. No, I would do that show. I would do that show in a minute. That would be my life. I would make that my life for 5 years. I would totally do it. I wouldn't care about the hours or whatever, because I'd be doing something that would be like so fully involved. I had no idea that what's-her-name was dating Fred Armisen's. That's crazy. Natasha Lyonne. I didn't know that. Because I was like, is she single? Natasha Lyonne, call me. I was just wondering about that. And then here come Fred Armisen. I'm like, Fred Armisen? All right. He's funny. That's fine. I'm jealous. Because I find her funny. From a distance, from afar. I don't know who she is. She could suck in real life. It's 6 years for the initial contract. 6 years. I didn't know they signed you for 6 years, but don't they just cut you out anytime they want? Or they buy you out of your contract, I guess? Unexpectedly started crying. I sat at an old SNL's writer's table for a few years ago and unexpectedly started crying. Because of all the cocaine that was done off of that table? Or why? Yeah. I can only imagine. Can only imagine what it's like. I've been there at Saturday Night Live with my friend Penny. By the way, shout out to my friend Penny. She probably doesn't want to hear this, but she sent amazing biscotti that she baked herself, and moretti that she baked herself, and peanut brittle. Peanut brittle. I have to say, though, the peanut brittle is easily breakable. I liked it, though. I like peanut brittle. That's my favorite. I might have mentioned that on the show, and then she probably was like, ding, light bulb. Let me go win 2 games of Jeopardy and come bake some peanut brittle. Do you bake peanut brittle? I don't know. It's a confection, right? I think it's a confection. Cookies, are they? Those are bakery items, right? Pastries? I don't know. Pastries are like fluffy though, right? Cookies are bakies. See, here's the thing I appreciate about her labeling of the amaretti and the biscotti. Because, Madonna mia, listen, the biscotti, that's Italian for cookies. That's like when we say cookies. If you ended a word in an I, that's plural. So one time I was playing a paparazzo in a show, and then they called me a paparazzi, and it kept saying in the script, the paparazzi runs the pop, like he's one guy. I was one guy, and they're like, he's a paparazzi, and I was like, it's paparazzo. Come on, learn your Italian, people. Paparazzo. Biscotto. Biscuit. It's like the English say, biscuits, cookies. Biscotto. I would like un biscotto. I would like lassa biscottis. That's why you ever somebody's like, oh, can I have a biscotti? You don't say, can I have a cookies? I mean, you could. I ain't gonna stop you, but I'm gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. No! No! Yeah. It's hot here. I see dandelions outside the window. I used this dandelion as my eye line when I was doing my little audition just now. Hopefully I get it. If I get it, I go back to LA, I work for 2 days, and then I come back here, and I pay my rent for the rest of the year. And that's how acting works. You get paid a lot of money for doing very relatively little manual work. You just go out there, you say, hey, look, I'm talented. I got a nice shirt on. I've got sunglasses and a necklace. Watch this. And then they pay you. They pay you big time. And I'm like, that's right, you're going to pay me. I got to spend all this year cultivating my talents. It's worth it. I'm worth it. If anybody ever tells you you're not worth it or makes you feel less than worth it, that you're not worth their time, they are not worth your time. That's how it goes. They don't want to make you feel like they don't want to lift you up. Narcissistic people like Amber Heard. They don't want to lift you up. They want to tear you down to their level. Listen to those tapes of her ridiculing and chastising and provoking and antagonizing Johnny Depp. It's hard to listen to because it just gives me flashbacks. Because it's not fun. After a while, I've never called a partner a name. Go ask any partner I've ever had as in a relationship that I've ever been in. Go ahead, go ask Alice. Let me just tell you, never have I once ever called anyone a verbal insult. Ever. Not once. Not jerk. Not a-hole. Not anything. Ever. I don't believe in it. I don't do it. But you listen to these tapes and you got Amber Heard saying all these nasty things about Johnny. He's not saying those nasty things back. He's saying, I can't believe you said all those things. I can't believe you said those things about me. Why would you do that? Why would you lie like that? She's like, because I did this and because you deserve it and because this. And I'm like, wow, that was just like a person I knew in my life that would treat me that way. And I was like, but here's the conundrum. Here's the paradox of being in a relationship like that. If you're I was getting like cursed out and verbally and physically assaulted in that relationship. And I would be like, hey, seems like you don't like me very much. We should break up. If you think I'm all of those things you just said, why are you with me? That was my question. And I could hear that in Johnny's voice. I could hear that same feeling in Johnny's voice on those tapes. I could hear it. I could feel it. He's like, I'm nothing to you, aren't I? He says that. He's like, I mean nothing to you. How could you say that about me? And she's like, you're this and you're that. And she's the one very, very verbally aggressive in the tapes. He does not sound at all like an abuser. Anybody who has been in an abusive relationship sees it, hears it, clear as day. Paul McCartney. Sir Paul had a video of Johnny Depp playing right behind him last week when Sir Paul was playing a concert. He says, this is not to discredit women who have been abused. We should all support women who have been abused. But I have seen many men who have been abused get ruined. Their lives ruined. You know why Paul said that? This is why I think Paul said that. Paul was married to Heather Mills. And it was always rumored that Heather Mills was just a monster to Paul McCartney. You know, Paul McCartney had that beautiful marriage to Linda for years and years, decades. And then he married Heather Mills. And everybody in the papers were like, oh, she's bad news, bro. But you don't know, because he seems like a guy who can emote and feel and care, empathy. I think if you're a good musician and a songwriter, you got this thing called empathy. A lot of people say, if they go, what are you, sensitive? I'm always like, yes, I'm a musician. You know, it usually shuts them up. How else can you make music if you can't feel anything? If you don't understand how feelings work, if you don't immediately know what a feeling it is to be dancing on the ceiling. Keltaline says, I took the train to Chicago a lot when I was a teenager in the 90s and always felt so cool ordering a macchiato and biscotti. You ordered a macchiato and a biscotto. Just FYI. Did you get macchiati? For one for you, one for your friend? Unless they come in a 2-pack, then you got biscottis. Can't say biscottis. That's like Italian English smash up. There's a women's abuse organization that came out in support of Johnny Depp. This should tell you something. The women's abuse organization said, hey, Johnny, we recognize what's going on here. We see what's happening here. And we stand with you. Because anybody, this is the pathetic thing. People who do this kind of thing, be abusers, the abusive people, like Amber Heard, in my opinion, I believe she's the abuser in this situation, the abuser. They don't think anybody is going to see through their lies. They truly continually lie and do the same thing over and over again. Then they say they're sorry, and then they make up, and then they start it again with a devaluation, and they start assaulting and hurting you because you're not doing what they want you to do, or you're not being responsible for their emotions. You are not being responsible for their emotions. So that's the problem. That's the problem for them. They're like, uh-oh, I'm feeling certain ways, and you need to do whatever it is I need you to do in this moment because you need to be walking on eggshells depending on which way the wind is blowing for me. You exist only to serve my needs. That's their mentality. And Johnny Depp, could you imagine the low self-esteem? The familiarity of that situation. His sister, Johnny Depp's sister, was talking about how he used to get beat up by his moms. So Johnny, like all of us, are often attracted to situations that feel familiar to you. Okay? I go around here on Long Island and there's a bunch of douchey dudes, right? And then I see ladies going out with these douchey dudes, and I'm like, oh, it's because they all come from douchey households. So they go, this douchey dude feels familiar. Let me go hang out with him. And then I walk around here and I'm like, I don't fit in here. I had a confrontation the other day. I took care of it. A couple conversations. I was at a bar. This guy comes up to me He was trying to like hit on the people I was with. And he said to me, "Who are you supposed to be? Omar from the freaking Mars Volta?" And I looked at him like this because he is 2 feet tall, you know. And I said, "Oh my God, I am so glad you recognized me. Thank God. Oh, who are you supposed to be? Fred Durst?" Because he had a backwards baseball cap on. And then I continued to verbally punish him. I told him to apologize to one of the ladies I was with because he'd like made a gesture. He stuck his hand in her face. So I knocked his hat off. I said, "Listen, Fred Durst, you need to apologize to this person right here. That's rude. You're being very rude." He said, "I'm not apologizing to you." I said, "Hey, buddy, it's not even about me and you. This is about you and this person right here. You need to fix that." And he did. I just don't like it. I don't like bullies. I don't like it. I can't stand it. I can't stomach it. This is what I'm freaking like Captain America. I don't like bullies. Okay? Could do this all day. That's why I like Captain America. He's always going to do the right thing. Listen, I value that. I value doing the right thing in the situation. I do. Because what makes life worth it? If you're not going to decide to do the right thing. You don't need Jesus or religions or God or the Bible or whatever to know what's right and decide to do what's right. So weird to me that people are like, well, if you don't have the Bible, everybody's just going to go around killing each other. I'm like, you think maybe that some people would go, hey, that's a bad idea. I don't want to do that. Like any human being. But sadly, there's a portion of the population that are sociopathic and psychopathic, and they might just do that. They might just actually just go around and kill you. They don't care. Listen to the ACLU. They are honest enough to piss everyone off at some point. She did not follow through or make some kind of payment plan to fulfill the rest of the pledged donations from the divorce settlement, says Kel Tuttoline. Yeah, she had a year. She said, I'm going to donate all of the money I get from my divorce settlement to the ACLU. I'm going to donate all of my money to the divorce settlement. And then she did it. She said, I pledged it. I'm going to pledge $12 million to the ASPCA right now. I just pledged it. Check me out. I'm going to go around saying, I just pledged $12 million to the ASPCA. Check me out. I'm cool. I just pledged $12 million. I pledged $1 million to the flag. You can pledge all day. As a child, I pledged allegiance to a flag. I still owe them that allegiance. I did not take that allegiance out of my divorce settlement. Chiroptera says, we have the Bible and people still go around killing each other. Turns out, murder is a thing that people do sometimes, and we try to curb it with laws. I'll tell you about it. Let me tell you about it. I should go for a run. I'm tired, though. Should I go for a run or should I sleep and dream about running? Maybe I'll do that. Kelzaline says, and she didn't even have any chemistry with Jason Momoa. You know why she doesn't have any chemistry with Jason Momoa? Because she's a worse actor than Jason Momoa. And I'm saying that as a fan of movies. And I watched her scene in Justice League, and I said, she is not a good actor. In fact, she is worse than Jason Momoa. And Jason Momoa, I love your vibe. I like what you're doing. I like the whole thing you got going on. But, acting, it's maybe not your strong suit. Just hold this trident and say, yeah, and we're going to pay you millions of dollars. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Keanu Reeves made a whole career doing this. You're good. Chiroptera said, someone told me that when I'm feeling down, I should do the opposite of what I want to do. Yeah. Try to do, oh yeah. What I want to do is take a nap, so I should go run on the beach then. What I want to do is pledge $12 million to the ACLU. So I'll do the opposite. When I'm feeling blue, these are a few of my favorite things. Kelton says, so I believe Heard's agent, but her legal team was stupid to try and frame it as a cover-up. Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy making watching her try to pursue these lies, because they're like, oh, so you got slapped in the face 10 times with a guy who's got rings on his hand, and here's a picture of you that day, the next day, and there's no swelling, no bruising, no anything, which is, look, I find that to be grasping at straws, but when they do that over and over again, and then when they did it like 10 times, they were like, so you got kneed in the back, and you said you got a horrible like bruise on your back because Johnny Depp kneed you in the back. Here's you wearing an open back dress the next day on a red carpet. I don't really take much credence in that. Like, you could still get hit and hurt and not have like physical outward injuries. But when it's over and over and over again, where she's making all of these claims, and every single time they're like, don't see any bruising. You said you were bruised. Here's a picture of you with a bruise on your face with no swelling, and here's a picture of you the next day with no bruise on your face. And there's even like, it's guys, if you go down the rabbit hole of this, like I have, not to make a Wizard of Oz type of reference, but if you go down, like Mad Hatter, you see what I'm saying? If you go down the rabbit hole with this Johnny Depp stuff, she even slips up so many times in her original deposition. She's like, oh, that's my bruise kit. I mean my makeup kit. And if you work in the Hollywood industry, if you work on set, you know that makeup artists have a thing called a bruise kit where they make bruises with that. It is a makeup kit specifically to make the appearance of bruises, and they call it a bruise kit. She's like, oh, I didn't have my bruise kit on me. I mean, my makeup kit. And I'm like, okay, listen, benefit of the doubt, she slipped up. Every time, but after about 37 benefits of the doubts that she slipped up, I'm like, one of those has to be a lie. At this, it's just the odds are she's lying about some of these things. Kelton Lean says she was terrible in everything I saw her in pre-Rum Diaries, to the point where I thought maybe I was missing something. No, here's the thing, Kelton Lean. She is a narcissistic person. I've seen it before. You've seen it before. I know you have. And they exist to use other people. They have a lot. She's a grandiose narcissist. Trying to play vulnerable narcissist, actually. She's a grandiose narcissist who's like, so I went down the rabbit hole again, and I've seen all of these clips of her how she treats other people in private. So there were like these press junkets where she's sitting there, and I don't want to like totally pile on to her, but I have a personal trigger with this. Like, I feel personally offended by her because of my own history, because I'm watching this dude, Johnny Depp, who seemed to be doing everything right, doing the things, maybe he has a little bit too much of the Rum Diary, if you know what I mean. Maybe he's got a little problem. Maybe he's like doing a little, maybe he's doing, a little of this, some of that. But that's to himself. He's doing that to himself. He is hurting the people around him if he's doing that to himself. But that's not the same as all of these claims that she's making. That another thing, over and over again, he is showing evidence for his claims over and over again. Here's evidence of what I stated. And here's more evidence, and here are people backing up my story. Every single thing that she has presented as evidence of him abusing her has been debunked, in my opinion, and also I hope people can see that. Literally, every single thing that she claimed that he did to her physically, people are like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. And he's like, you did, and he's even on tape going, you gave me a haymaker, you punched me in the face, then you did this. And she's like, yeah, I did that because of you. So she's like admitting to it on audio. And then when she's in the court, they're like, you just said you hit him in the face. He just claimed you hit him in the face and you agreed with him on the tape. And she's like, no, I didn't. No, I did not. A lot of times when people do the emphatic of did not, they're lying instead of saying I didn't do that. People say didn't. They use conjunctions. Speaking of conjunctions, I've got conjunctivitis. I got the itis of the eyeball, see? That's an often thing. Wizard of Wonderland. I just don't like it. I don't like that Hollywood and casting, that's the theme of today's show, decides they don't want no more Johnny Depp. Because they don't want to deal with the mess of it all. They don't want to deal with his public perception. But I think his public perception is shifting. I think it was a good idea for him to televise this. Because he knew that the court of public opinion, which he has worked his whole life to win over. If you watch this dude's entire career, every interview he's ever done, all he has ever tried to do was do the right thing to appeal to people. He's got a natural charisma, but I think by all accounts in his private life, from what we hear from every single person who's ever dated him, who's ever been friends with him, who's in his family, they're just like, yeah, he like really works hard at not being a dick. So all of these claims these claims that that Amber Heard has made are insidious and abusive and horrible and just, and she's so far in it. She's so deep down the rabbit hole because she's hijacking the Me Too movement for women. She's co-opting it. She said, oh, this is a way to get attention, and this is a way that I can get people that I can hop on board this train, having been married to a superstar. I can hop on board. And that's why her level of narcissism and borderline personality and histrionic disorders, her level is just to that point where she's like lying and just making up stories. You see her making up stories. She's like, and then he, I don't know how to describe it. He shoved me. And then if you something that happened to you, I can describe to you exactly without any hesitation the times that I was struck or hit by my abusive partner. I could tell you those. I could just literally just rattle it off and tell you exactly. And you could see that she's using these acting techniques because I don't think she has any empathy. So she's starting to like recall certain irrelevant details and just insert them ham-handedly into her stories because she's probably watched victim video after victim video after victim video. And then she's like adopting what she thinks are the ways to tell stories about your own personal abuse. And I'm sure a lot of times people were like, I was standing there, I opened the cabinet, I was looking at the cups, and suddenly, like, because they're having a genuine recollection. So she's like, so then I fell down and the floor was there, and I could see the floor and the little pieces in the floor, and I could, and the floor. she's struggling to understand what humans feel. She doesn't feel them. She's struggling. It's kind of sad. It's cringy. It's cringeworthy. But I want to see her lose this case. I don't want to see her destroyed. I just want to see her pride go away from this situation. I just want to see her learn. She's not going to learn her lesson. This is the thing. She's going to stick to the story until the day she dies, probably. But I want to see her lose in a significant way, in the sense that she went to court, they went to court, and it's over, and it was in Johnny's favor. And Johnny's probably not going to feel great about it. He actually went into this whole thing saying, it's not about the money, obviously. And he's like, my career is over. I've accepted that. What I can't accept is someone besmirching my good name. And I can understand that. I can understand that. It's like, look, you could take my money, you could take my house, but don't say I did those things, because those are not. Do not say that. Don't ever say that. Because I could see that. I could feel that. Chiroptera says, something that bothers me is the reliance on big names to carry a show, and then just casting hot people who can't act. I know for sure that they are good actors, but they show preference to hot people, and there's no chemistry between characters. Oh yeah, chemistry is really important. If you watch that movie, Licorice Pizza, both the main characters aren't traditionally, quote, hot, but they are there's so much chemistry that you're just in love with both of them. I think that Philip Seymour Hoffman's son is a better actor than he ever was. My opinion. Sorry, may he rest in pizza. Chiroptera says, those little details are always relevant. They carry significance, and maybe we don't. It's those details that are important. Kelton Lean says, she doesn't need to watch manipulation videos. It's most likely instinctual, especially if the BPD speculation is accurate. Oh, no, Kelton Lean, I'm not talking about her manipulation tactics. So the difference from what I've read about narcissists is that they are very aware of their manipulation techniques. I'll clarify what I was saying about her being able to recall details. She's trying to win this. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a manipulation technique. She's trying to win the sympathy of a jury in a courtroom situation with fabricated stories about abuse, which I don't think she knows how to tell, because I honestly don't believe she was ever traumatized by Johnny Depp. I just do not think she was traumatized by Johnny Depp. And this is my opinion, obviously. But she wasn't traumatized by him. So she's trying to recreate the appearance of someone who has been traumatized. And the way she's doing that, I imagine, is watching videos of real people who have really been victimized, who can emote how their story, because they're reliving a trauma in that moment. But if you look at Amber Heard, she's not reliving anything. She's making it up. She's making up a story and trying to attach emotions to it. And it's not working, because the emotions will come from out of nowhere when you're recounting a trauma. Maybe you don't even experience, you could just recount a trauma completely flatly. Everybody's different. You could say, and then he chopped my arm off. You could just be like, everybody's different. But, it's just different. They chopped my arm off, which made me upset because I couldn't have any pizza that day. See? Thank you. Especially BPD speculator, yes. Chiroptera says, thank you for filling my break. Please blesses the rest of your stream. Thank you. Blessed be Jesus and Mary and Joseph and Steve. This is my feeling about everything. This is my feeling. This is my opinion. I do not believe she was traumatized at all by Johnny Depp. I believe she inflicted real injury to Johnny Depp's person and his career. And I think that he is entitled to damages. But watch him donate that $50 million or whatever they settle. If he wins, which will probably be like $18 million or something, maybe they'll award him twice as much, but she's not going to be able to pay it. Doesn't matter. But I guarantee you he will actually donate it. He'll be like, oh, look at me. I just donated this to women's abuse. You know what I'm saying? He said it's not about the money for him. Technically, he can sue for lost wages. He'll pay his lawyers, and he'll donate the rest, I believe. That's what I believe will happen. Because, and he's not even trying to be like the poster boy for abused dudes. He's not even trying. He's just like, this happened to me. This is a true story. And when he says, when his lawyer said to him, Johnny, when Amber talks to you on the tape and says, look at me, Johnny, you're going to go tell a judge and a jury that you were abused by a woman, that you're a victim of domestic abuse, you're going to tell them? And he says, I am. He says it on a record. And she's like, well, it was a fair fight. It doesn't sound like a traumatized person. You tell him it was a fair fight. She doesn't sound too traumatized. When he says to her, you will never see my eyes again, on the tape, it's very dramatic. It's very Johnny Deppish. You'll never see my eyes again. I get it. I understand that feeling. She could take everything away from him, but she can't win that from him. She can't take that from him. And that's not what he's feeling. That's what I believe he's feeling in that moment. Kelseline says, remember Regina George launched her revenge on the school with the book burn, causing the kind of chaos was like the ultimate drug to my stepsister, her words. It was why she hated staying on her meds. Yeah, everybody, remember to take your meds regularly. Don't be not taking your meds. Take your meds. I hope I get this commercial, actually. I don't want to hope. I have fun. I got the people to laugh. They was laughing at my audition, but you know, you never know. You never know. Yeah. Oh, I just paid my car insurance this month, not having driven my car at all this month. So it's a good thing. I just got the payment notification. You're welcome, Geico. You're welcome. Keeping that car safe in its spot that I'm also paying for $100 a month for that spot at my building. Yeah, I hope I get that commercial. I mean, I'm not saying to be mean. It was heartbreaking to accept that he couldn't fix it. Or help, not fix. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I think Johnny fell in love. He was smitten. Something about Amber Heard struck him. He was attracted to her maybe physical beauty. If you find her attractive, I find her not attractive. I would have said, I don't know. Personally, it's just obviously beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But she is, as Chiroptera says, probably cast in movies with like the Jason Momoas of the world because they're hot people. They're hot people, nice to look at. They're not offended. You could stare at their faces for 2 hours and be like, this is fine. Most people, doesn't matter who you are, everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of attraction to different things. It's all different. We got to appreciate the diversity of the world and the different shapes and sizes and all the different kinds of people because there's so much. Chemistry is chemistry. It really doesn't have to do with looks. If you base all your things in looks necessarily, like outward appearance, traditional good looks, if you base all of your stock in that, I feel like you're missing out in life. You might be missing a lot of situations and people that you would vibe with that you normally wouldn't assume that you would. You're missing the, but then again, I've been to a lot of parties with a lot of narcissistic actors, which is almost synonymous. I've been to a lot of those parties and you walk around those parties and you're just like, everybody here is good looking, quote unquote. But they ain't got something, you know. None of them have anything important to say. They're just like, who wants to talk to me? You want to talk to me? Who else wants to talk to me? I'm here to be talked to. Everybody, do you want to talk to me? Talk to me. Listen how cool I am. This is what I've seen. He was very into her mind. She was a compelling conversationalist, apparently. Well, that could be true too. They probably had actual chemistry. The problem is, I believe her personality disorder is that of a user and an abuser. I think that she has gotten to where she is in life partly because of how she's like modeled and she's used perhaps. And same thing with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp got cast in 21 Jump Street because he was a heartthrob. Okay? Turned out, though, this was a kind of a weird thing because he was in Cry Baby with John Waters' movie, and everybody was like, Johnny Depp from 21 Jump Street is in Cry Baby? He's an actor? Turns out, though, sometimes, every now and then, you get an extraordinarily good-looking person who's also a good actor. So sometimes it happens that way. And sometimes it happens the other way, too, you know? I'm not going to call out people. Oh, listen, Paul Giamatti, he's not the typical leading man, but he's one of the best actors we got. You know what I mean? Something about him we like. He's not your typical leading man. I loved his role in Singles, where he's making out with the person and he's like, what? That was Paul Giamatti in the movie Singles. He had one line. I still remember it. I see those casting calls too. Willing to make out with the co-star. Like that's like pretty much the casting to like someone who's willing to make out with someone on camera. A lot of those castings. I wonder how many people met that way and got married. 12. So in summation, I think that Hollywood casting is arbitrary. And I like it. And I also think that Hollywood casting is arbitrary. And I don't like it. That's what I think. It's like, who's going to be in the movie for this? Skeet Ulrich? For the Johnny Depp. Skeet Ulrich. And Meryl Streep. No, it would be Skeet Ulrich. Who would play Amber Heard in this movie? And then they should do the movie about the movie. Amber Heard looked like, but like a good actor. A good actor who can act like a bad actor. Michelle Williams. I don't know. I believe that Amber Heard is like, let's cast this movie. Oh, it would have to be Scarlett Johansson's. And no, Margot Robbie. It's Margot Robbie. We did it. No, let's give someone else a chance. Margot Robbie. I mean, they would probably just go straight Margot Robbie for that role. She has no dearth of roles right now because she's just probably got them like queued up. They're like, every blonde actor ever, any blonde role ever, is going to be Margot Robbie's. We're done. That's just like Yeah, Abdul Mateen II. Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He's just like, we need him to play everything because we can't think of any other black or brown people. We have to, if there's a black or brown role, we just give it to him, and then we can cast everyone else. Because that's fair. Because that's fair. Sorry. All right, well, it's been a long day. I'm going to go drink some more coffee and water. And maybe go for a run. Maybe I'll go for a run on the beach. Maybe I'll do that. But long live Johnny Depp. May he win this case. Everybody's watching Johnny Depp on Twitch right now. May he win this case and make 20 more Pirates movies, and I'll go see them all. You know someone's going to cast him in a movie after this, though, and everybody's going to go see it, and then people are going to say, oh, he is a commodity. He is still good. You know, someone is going to stunt cast him in something. Maybe Tarantino will put him in his last movie. And then and then we'll just be like, oh, that Johnny Depp, we should have given him more credit than he was credited for. Video producer. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks, guys. Lily James. I don't know who Lily James is. Lilith. BB Newworth. All right, thank you, guys. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. Stay the same. Don't go changing. If anyone ever tries to devalue you or tell you that you're not worth their time, they're not worth your time. Keep on walking. Keep it moving. Don't even stop to give them the time. You are worth it. Work it. I'm going to pass out. Love you. Bye.